Dave. Speaking of video, I was like the last couple weeks I've been feeding into the negative thoughts in my head, like argue with myself, this, that, and it's like I've been doing really good, but like everything has setbacks and stuff to learn and grow from. That's what I choose to grow and learn from. But one thing I have been doing, I noticed a lot lately, is meditation. I haven't done it in a few weeks, and that does help me stay grounded and be fine with everything. Because, like I said, where I live, I've said it before, it's kind of chaotic here with everything. But sometimes my mind makes up the old drama, feeds on the old drama, even when there's nothing going on or whatever. But like I said, where I live, you got to be careful trusting pretty much anybody. But it's like sometimes my mind just feeds into negativity, and that's one thing I'm learning. I've been looking up a lot about the mind and stuff like that because the mind fascinates me the more I dig into it. Like one thing our mind does hardwires things from that we use the most, like the negative thinking, negative talk. We do it so long it's hardwired in there, and we got to re-hardwire it. That's what I'm working on. Like I said, the last couple weeks I've been doing it, but and one thing I got to do is start getting my apartment back together. Let it go too, so I got to work on that. But like I said, it's just like I got to re-hardwire things, and sometimes it's easier to use the old stuff because it's already hardwired. But that's with anything, code skills, anything. We got to take. I got to take my time, work on it, and get better and stuff. And that's where I lack some. Not even lack. I self sabotage sometimes. So that's a behavior that I got to pay more attention to because that's what I was doing the last couple of weeks. Is self sabotaging. So like I said, I meditated, and after I get done with this, I'm going to meditate too again. What I do is I deep think for 15 minutes, and I listen to meditation with ohms and hertz, and I listen to that when I'm deep thinking. Sometimes I just go in my head without anything. That's what I'm learning is shadow work. I learned that, listen to a lot of Carl Jung with the shadow work, and that's what I'm learning. There's a lot of stuff that things irritate me, and it's the shadow in me that I got to work on. Like one thing I used to hate, and I've been working on the shadow and talking to the shadow, is people saying, "Oh, this hurts, that hurts," or complaining, and it used to piss me off. And I realized it was a shadow of me because I won't do that. I won't really complain what's going wrong or anything because nobody wants to hear it. And you don't want to give anybody too much ammo that they're going to use against you. And that's a lot of places. And I'm learning that. So basically, and sometimes I suffer in silence, and it's better for me because I'm learning more about myself, suffering in silence, and helping and learning about the shadow work and all that through Carl Jung. It's pretty interesting. And I watch a lot of videos about shadow work and consciousness and all that, and it makes sense. And the more I get into it, I'm like, yeah, this is pretty interesting. And learning about the brain, so our brain can pretty much do anything if we know how to use it the right way. And that's one thing we were never taught how to use it the right way. So that's what I'm learning, and I'm working on it and going with it. And I listen to audiobooks about the brain, and I have ADHD, so that doesn't help sometimes too, and it's unmedicated. So I have audio books, tricks, and tips I could use to work with the ADHD. I sometimes have a hard time saying that, but and I've learned ways to work on it listening to audiobooks, and I enjoy listening to audiobooks because there are a lot of information there, and you could pick ones you want. I use Audible a lot because I can pick what I want and listen to what I want. And with Audible, you do get some free books with the when you pay for it. So I like that too because I got some good books on that. But I got a bunch of books on um, ADHD, and I've been working with it and using cope skills that I'm learning through the books too to work with it. Because a lot of times it's my ADHD that acts up and causes a muck in my head. So I have like three books on Audible that I got to listen to yet. But right now I'm listening to one with Carl Jung. So it's pretty interesting, and it's about shadow work and all that. So it's pretty interesting, and I want to get into more shadow work because that's where I'm learning more about myself when I get into the shadows and consciousness and all that stuff. And there's other stuff that I like that he talks about while he's not here anymore, but with the videos in his books explain about stuff that's really interesting, and it's helped me get better. But like I said, the last 3 weeks were self sabotaging, so I got to pay attention to that more often. and I got to work on my apartment. It's not bad, but I got to get things tidied up, make it look good. Because I don't let my apartment get that bad, but sometimes it's just hard, especially in the kitchen. Because I'm always doing something in the kitchen, so it's kind of hard to keep the kitchen clean a lot. So it's a struggle with that, but I'm working on it. And like I said, I'm gonna go outside, have a cigarette, and I'm just gonna do later. I'm gonna come in and meditate and do shadow work, or actually, I gotta find it. What I like to do is find a video, meditation video, before I get in, and have it ready for one after I get out of the deep thinking. I go right into meditation, and that does help too. And I did that today, and I was really in the deep thinking and meditation, so it helped. So, and one thing that helps get the meditation ready before I out of the deep thinking, because before I did it, it took me 15 minutes to find one that I wanted for meditation. So what I tried to do is get it ready, just as right after deep thinking, right into the meditation, and that's what I feel the best is right from deep thinking right into the meditation. So that's what I'm working on. Thanks. Bye.